Wabi. Na emo. My father is something. Missing me, I would never raise. Not as in Ara, me, I would Marfo, Marfo, and you young, Missing that I would. Behold, I am your Lord, the God, Lord of rest. Is there anything too hard for? I say, behold, I am the Lord, the Lord of rest. Is there anything too hard for? Hey, Papa, come and say. Yes, Papa, Bonnie, be a mayo. Yes, you got me. Yes, you got me. Yes, you got me. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Our Father. Mo 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 Yanam coming, Yamini, Yanam, this one. Oh, may I matis Yabutari, and Uti, Nadidi, Sanyami, Mayer. Oh, may I mount Saudi, Nodia, Yabi, Bayama, with Momo. Only Jesus can save. Only Jesus can save. Hallelujah. Only Jesus can save. Only Jesus can save. Hallelujah. I said, only Jesus can do. Only Jesus can do. Hallelujah. Only Jesus can do. Only Jesus can do. Hey, come on, here. Come on, say ya walking no cana na ya walking no cano na ya sa wa na se une cana e medi ya ti o na wa ni begu ase o ya walking no cano na ya walking no
All right. A round of applause for them. 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 You are not singing. Oh, you didn't like the music. You want Shatawali? Beam. Beam. All right. Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We thank you so much for being here. You are here not as politicians, but you're here as students, and you are here as prospective entrepreneurs. We love you. Your presence here alone is a testament to your commitment to success and excellent projects ahead of you. We have just made, thank you. The venue has just changed. You're not in the classroom. You are in a hotel. But your mind and your sense, everything about you is still a student. So we have entered into a classroom because tonight we are here to cultivate our brain. We are here to learn stories. We are here to learn the journey of some distinguished personalities, because I know in life, one particular person's story can change your entire destiny. So if you are here, be proud of yourself and give a round of applause for yourself. I know a doctor who now wants to pursue law and veer into farming. And I asked the doctor, why? And he said, I want to be a full-fledged entrepreneur. And I said, okay, that's fine. I know a doctor pharmacist. Now they do D-Farm. A doctor pharmacist who owns a pharmacy. But he wants to create another shop, go to Dubai, Singapore, bring in more goods. Why? She said she wants to be an entrepreneur. So if you're here and you're pursuing that course to be an entrepreneur, that it means that you are excellent. You're on the right path. A round of applause for yourself. By the courtesy of Skillforce Ghana, today we are giving you intellectual exercise. And that's why you are here. Who want to be called CEO, Chief Executive Officer? Who? Wow. Who wants to be called the founder of a company? Wow. I like that. Who wants to be called the president of a company? I like that. We have only one president behind me. A round of applause for him. Now, before we carry on, we need to invoke the blessings of the great architect of the universe. By seeking the blessings of the Lord, we invite Miss Adelaide Akoa to give us the opening prayer. Adelaide, I have only one prayer. Okay, give it for her.
Hello, good evening. Please, can you all rise up? Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for how far you brought us. It's by your mercy that we are here. We pray that, Lord, whatever that we are going to do, you make it a success, and at the end, we'll give you glory and honor. These and many things we ask in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. Please, can we sit down?
Adelaide belongs to the Methodist Church, and she is very meticulous. So Adelaide, we thank you so much. I'm a professional graphic designer. I do radio full time. Now I want to go to piggery and farming. Why? Because I want to be like you. I want to be an entrepreneur. So a round of applause for myself. Thank you. Thank you. For brevity and simpleness, we'd like to invite Dr. Emmanuel Opoku Marfo to give us the opening remark.
Thank you, Mr. MC.
No, I'll come back with the professor.
Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Kennedy Ohene Agyapong, our personality for today, your entourage that came with you from Accra, my colleague lecturers from Catholic University, University of Energy and Natural Resources, Sunyani Technical University, and Sunyani Nursing Training College. Our groups from University of Energy and Natural Resources, ENSA, groups from the youths in Sunyani and its diaspora, the villages around here, our party members who are here, elderly people who are here, entrepreneurs in town that we invited you to be here. All of you, you're welcome. And today is a great day for Sunyani youth because we struggle to get your personality for today for you. I had a center in the University of Energy and Natural Resources. And that center is Center for Entrepreneurship and Business Incubation. We are there to train young entrepreneurs, those who have business mindset, those who have business ideas, those who have products that are yet to be developed. We create an environment and platform for you. We give you mentorship for you to become a renowned entrepreneur. On this note, Honorable, we are in Sunyani here trying to struggle to come up with our businesses to be known in the society. But we do struggle a lot. Our mentors here are doing their best. But many a time, because we are locally in here, we see them as our colleagues, we see them as our brothers. We don't take their advice seriously. But having you from the national level, we think, and we are proud of you. We've heard your name. We've heard your contributions to the needy and the scholarships you'll be granting, the businesses that you hold. We envy you. And for that matter, we to say, bring you in here to speak with us. And Honorable Kennedy, the people I present to you with the collaboration of Skillforce Ghana and this center that I head as a director, we came up with a product that have been signed an MOU with the Ghana National Service Authority, that all youth that can pass through our center can have a product developing it, and we will assign them to this National Service Authority for them to place them to do their national services in their own businesses that they establish from the center. So at this note, I will be sharing a link for you and register all of you to have a database so that we link you to National Service Authority. And after your studies in Sunyani here, we give you a business that you will be posted into your own business. And that whole year, the salary that shall be taken from your own businesses, the Secretariat will be funding you so that you begin to have a seed capital to start your business. And that's a good news for you. So if you are interested in it, just give me a clap. After today's presentation, you will know where you stand. And when the money comes to you, you may know where to use the money for. And Masterclass is ready to support you and give you a seed capital to start all businesses that you intend to do that we will approve for you. So today, I end my welcoming address in here. And the later lecture that we shall be giving you will position each one of us here to know yourself, whether you can be an entrepreneur, successful one, or a failure one that you may need a support. We shall give it to you before you leave here. Thank you very much.
Now I can give you the professorial title. So a round of applause for Professor Emmanuel Opoku Menu. Now, I was watching one of these Kumawood series, and there was a guy who works in the palace, like Ochami, and a lady came and he said, What do you do? And the lady responded, I am an entrepreneur. And the guy asks, now, dear now, no. You know, it's funny, but in reality, if you are an effective entrepreneur, you should know what you're cooking. You should know your product, because that's the only way you can sell and make big money. So even though he said it in a very comical way, there is wisdom into it. If you're an entrepreneur, you should know exactly your products, what you're cooking. Are you cooking fried rice or you're cooking diehu? What do you like? Oh, the gabizia. Gobeya. Let's see when he's on Gobeya. Hey, I see. Now, our first speaker, who is a very special guest of ours, he's a dual qualified attorney, admitted to the New York and the Ghana bar, specializing in international economic law. He holds LLM from Georgetown University Law Center, where he was a fellow of the Institute of International Economic Law and a recipient of the 2023 John H. Jackson Memorial Endowed Scholarship. His professional experience includes roles at the U.S. Library of Congress, Bechdel, SL, Lesser, and Ancoma law firms, or is it just a law firm? The law firm that has one of the longest names, I guess. Bechdel, Angel, Lesser, and Ancoma law firm. The Ghana Ministry of Trade and Industry, Crown Peak Investment, and Asidu and York law firm. His international experience includes working with the government of Ukraine. I believe that he doesn't have a bomb here. The U.S. Department of Commerce, Commercial Law Department Program, and the Ukraine's Ministry of Economy on procurement law reforms. No bomb, no Russia invasion. Our first speaker is a very distinguished personality, a family man, and indeed, he speaks impeccable English. He's a full-time law lecturer at Ascension University and adjunct faculty member at GIMPA. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, let's welcome Lawyer Kobi Amoah.
Thank you, Kwame. After saying I speak impeccable English, I'm sure people will start marking my grammar. Let's calm down. Good evening, everyone. His Excellency Kennedy. Hey, Honorable. Well, maybe I'm being prophetic, so for the future. But Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, Professor Emmanuel Opoku Marfo, Honorable Alfred Obey, sorry. Honorable Alfred Obey, and all distinguished guests, students, and my colleagues here. Today I'm here, I'm honored to speak at this event and also share with you my experience. Unfortunately, I don't have as much experience as Honorable, who has worked so much, employed over 7,000 people into his employment. So I'm not really going to do the entrepreneurship skill sets bit. I am going to talk about legal pitfalls that I think that all of you should avoid as you are trying to start up your businesses. Yeah, so as he introduced me, I practice law in both the New York and Ghana. And through that, I've worked with a couple of startups, businesses, and entrepreneurs, helping them navigate legal challenges, structure their businesses properly, and avoid costly mistakes. So today, I just want to share with you some of the biggest mistakes in the legal sense that a lot of entrepreneurs make and how these mistakes could cost your business, your money, and your personal assets. So let's talk about protecting your business legally, because too often people wait until things go wrong before they think that there's a legal aspect in relation to whatever they are doing. So I'm going to discuss one scenario with you. It's actually very similar to a case I'm working on. I've just tweaked it a bit to make it more relatable to you, and I've also taken away some confidential information in the story. So let's say you're a student of UNE, that's University of Energy and Natural Resources, if I'm right. And you're on campus, you realize that washing for students is a major problem. Why? Maybe water is scarce, maybe there's a problem of theft. Immediately you hang your things on the line, people steal them. I know some of us experience that a lot when we're in school. I don't know if you have that challenge here. Online, yes. Online shopping. Yes, and probably there are just a few drying lines, so you're not even able to dry your clothes after you wash them. Sometimes you have to wash and hang them in your room, and the room becomes, it's not even palatable to have. So, boom, that comes with a business idea, right? Oh, yes or no? Yes. What business idea is that? Can someone tell me? Pardon? To start a laundry, brilliant students. So I'm a lecturer, so at every point in time, I feel like I'm in a classroom. Yes, so you start a laundry. You want to start a laundry. You don't have any resources to start, so you decide to engage two of your friends. One of them is a Sunyane boy. Their parents left an uncompleted building, but I think it's workable to do the laundry. Another friend of yours has a lot of money, so this person says, you know what, I'm going to buy the equipment. But you are probably, let's say, a hall executive, and you are probably one of the most popular students on campus. So you are very well connected on campus. So you start this business is booming. One day your two partners call you and tell you that you are fired. And it becomes a big problem. Now and you realize that, one, there was no paper trail in relation to the business that you did with them. Everything was by word of mouth. Two, the entity that you are using to do the business was for one of your colleagues who you just trusted that, oh, this is our guy, it's our business, he just brought his, I already have a company, so we don't need a company, and you also took it on face value. Then he started. Because nothing was written down to protect you or your ownership role, even though it was your idea, they can simply say that they hired you as a manager to manage their business. And by virtue of that, they have the power to sack you. So yes, it was your own idea, your own intellectual property. Yes, you are the one who was running it. Yes, you are the one who brought the off-takers in quotes, the customers. But you've been sacked from your own business just because you didn't put in place the right paperwork. You didn't put in place the right legal trail that is going to protect your rights. As I said, I just put this in a relatable form, but these are actual challenges that is happening in the real world. Sometimes people enter and start businesses with their girlfriends, they use their girlfriends' companies, they invest so much. By the time they realize the girl has found a new boy, the boy is now the one managing the business, and you tend to lose everything. So, whenever you are doing a business, whenever you want to invest, whenever you want to come together with your colleagues to do something, there are very simple things that I think you should do. And after sharing this with you, I think I'll go and sit down because the real juice is in what Honorable and the distinguished guests behind are going to tell you. One, I think you should get a lawyer. Yes, lawyers may be expensive, but especially looking at sometimes the kind of investment you are making, the business idea you have and its potential, you should find a way to get someone who will give you legal advice. Some of us sometimes think that lawyers are only for courts, and we only call lawyers when disputes arise. And that's how come when you see me, I'm a lawyer, you say, oh, okay, in your case, I'm a fail. No one will tell you that, oh, especially even when you think the person is your friend. No one will, even your friends usually don't come and tell you that, oh, I'm trying to structure my business, what do you advise? The only time you get calls from them is when the police stops them and they want to now call to let the person know they have a lawyer. So anytime you are taking such steps, you are entering into a partnership and others, consult a lawyer Because one, the lawyer can help you register your business properly. Two, the lawyer can help you draft contracts that will protect you and your business so that even in case something happens, you don't get cheated. And generally, lawyers also, because of our experience and working with a lot of institutions and working a lot of people through this, in as much as we may not become entrepreneurial experts, we can offer a lot of insights about business which will help you. So I remember one of my friends, someone wanted to invest in their business. The person just gave him a contract to sign. The person was bringing a lot of money into his business. However, he didn't read the contract. He nearly signed until I bumped into him one day. I was like, oh, he even has a contract. Can I review it for him? Only for me to look through and realize that he was giving away the controlling stake of his company. He read it with common sense. One of my friends here, I won't mention names, he's now studying law. He used to see me and tell me the law is common sense. Until he started studying law, he said the law was what? English and common sense. Till he started studying law and realized that the law was quite beyond English and common sense and it's something technical that you should consult for. So same thing. So now I looked at this agreement and I realized that, I mean, you can decide to sell away, you can decide to, depending on the consideration or the amount involved, you can decide that, okay, I mean, I've done this business enough. Someone wants to bring this amount of money, so I'm giving away the controlling stake. But at least you should know that you are giving that away. Because sometimes it is on the paper right before you, you read with English, your English and common sense lens, and you may still not be able to appreciate how that is going to work against you. So yes, you don't need a lawyer. You just don't need a lawyer when there's a problem. You need one to prevent the problem in the first instance. And that is one takeaway I want you to get from this meeting. You just don't need a lawyer when there is a problem, but you need the lawyer to avoid that problem in the first instance. This issue of my friend, I'm sure after a few years he would have realized that he had no control over his company, and he will now come to call you a lawyer. So, two, yes, even if you can't afford a lawyer, still make sure that, especially when it comes to business and friendship are two different things. Because I've seen business divide people along lines. People are even getting divorced because of how their partners are dealing with their business interests. Best friends, I mean, I think that one, there are so many examples. Probably we may all have other examples. So you just don't do business deals based on trust. You have to ensure that, yes, maybe there's a verbal agreement, but make sure, and sometimes, probably when there's a verbal agreement, everything may seem fine until something goes wrong. So the truth is that whatever you're agreeing on, if it's not written down, it does not exist. Yes, what I'm saying right now, my senior colleagues here will tell me that it is wrong in law for me to say that whatever you're saying or whatever you've agreed verbally does not exist. But to be able to prove that indeed you had that verbal agreement is a hell of a tax that you don't even want to surmount. So make sure that at the very least, everything that you agree or everything that you're trying to agree with someone is written down and is reduced into writing, so that it can become a reference document that at least, even if it may not necessarily be a proper contract, so like proper contract, because you may not afford a lawyer, but at least whatever you people are, make sure you write on paper, okay, we agree that A was going to do B, C was going to do D, and D was going to do whatever, like D was also going to do something else. It is very, very important, especially for those of you who are trying to do startups, because sometimes, as you are going to learn later today, sometimes you yourself may not have all the resources. Looking back to the example I gave, that was a brilliant idea. The guy had all the ideas. He had all the networks to get people who needed the laundry services. He didn't have any money, neither did he didn't have the equipment, neither did he even have the land. So he didn't have the other part of the resources that he needed. So coming together with other friends was fantastic. But because nothing was reduced on paper, in the end, the person got nothing. Now, also registering your business. It's something very important that I want to talk about. And because a lot of times, people do so much work, and sometimes somebody even wants to help you and realize you don't even have any business entity in the first place. So there are types of businesses that, I mean, I think for the purpose of this event, I'll just brush through. The first thing one is sole proprietorship. I'm sure through our business law and other classes, you discuss what sole proprietorship is. But just to re-emphasize the importance, to emphasize on the importance, I'm talking about this again. A lot of times, someone will tell you, oh, I have a company, so let me bring the company. Only for them to bring the documents, and it is the registration of business name certificate. Please be careful about that. Registration of business name is just the registration of the name, not necessarily of the business. There's a difference between an incorporated company and the registration of a business name. So before you even want to go and register, you may not remember everything here, but make sure you ask questions to know the legal effects of whatever you are doing. Because let's say if you have a sole proprietorship, you should know the legal effects of having a sole proprietorship. So for instance, if you own a restaurant and your restaurant is registered as a sole proprietorship, and let's say something happens, the customer sues you for food poisoning. Because you are just a sole proprietor, the court can go into and seize your own personal assets. They can come for your car, they can come for your house, because it's a sole proprietorship, and your liability is not limited. Your liability is not just in relation to whatever you've invested in the business. It goes way beyond that. So these are some of the things that you have to understand. Because you are going to start businesses, today we are talking small, but in 5-10 years' time, you may have big businesses. You may have, and I mean, that is something I believe. If you listen to Honorable's story, he may have started small today, employ 7,000. Today, he's going to teach you and even tell you the mistakes he made. So we are expecting you to, by the time you get to Honorable's level, have 50,000 employees under your hand. So it means you have to do things right from the beginning. So yes, sole proprietorship, as I said. A mere registration of business name is not a registration of a company. Yes, you may not remember the details, but if you say you want to go and register your business, at least ask, okay, what kind of business am I registering, and what is its legal effects? There's what we call incorporated partnerships, which a lot of times we the lawyers do for our partnerships because it's for our practice, because it's required by law. Now, with partnerships too, it's similar to sole proprietorships when it comes to the liability of everybody. If your partner does something, and someone comes after the partnership's assets, and you've registered your entity as a partnership, they can also come after your personal assets. So these are all things that you need to think through and understand when you're going through your legal, because I've seen this so many times. Yes, you may think that it's abstract, but in my few years of practice, I've seen this so many times where people have done so many things on paper and they don't understand its legal effects. Then there's company limited by shares. And I mean, with company limited by shares, it provides a lot of protection for businesses. So you register a company as a company limited by shares, and let's say you take a loan and you struggle to pay. Ordinarily, and I'm saying ordinarily because there are certain exceptions which may not necessarily be of relevance to today's lecture. But so you don't go and quote me somewhere and say, oh, some guy came to tell us that there's no way they can come after your property. I just want you to know that at least I know that aspect. But ordinarily, when you run a company limited by shares, and there is an issue, and let's say even the company's assets are supposed to be absolved, your assets are distinct. We call it a distinct legal personality. So your personal assets are distinct from that of the entity. So one thing that a lot of entrepreneurs, or especially at our level, don't realize is that if you don't register your business properly and actually understand and know what you are doing, sometimes you can miss out on a lot of opportunities. If I'm an investor, I'm sorry, but I won't put my money into an unregistered business. Unless you're my friend and I know I'm giving you this as a grant. Sometimes you tell the person it's a loan because you want them to work hard, and if they're able to raise the money, fine. But if it's something that someone is looking for return on his or her investments, they always want to make sure through their due diligence that at least they are dealing with a registered entity. No bank will give you a loan. And sometimes we also, not necessarily just banks, sometimes a lot of these grants, partnerships, sometimes we hear, oh, MBSSI is supporting businesses. Sometimes they say, oh, they are supporting companies, they are supporting corporations. The World Bank has a grant for so and so, it has this. So make sure that your company credentials and everything is on point. And you don't have to wait till the opportunity knocks before you put your house in order. Probably the time it will take you to put your house in order, you would have missed out on the opportunity. So as we are learning the soft skills and having an entrepreneurial mindset, identifying opportunities, I want you to also have some of these legal issues, very, very simple legal issues. Ordinarily, I mean, sometimes you think it's very simple, but it costs a lot of people so much. I've seen it so many times, and I just want to let you know. So yes, if you want to test an idea, you started your on campus, let's say, you decide to sell your drinks in your room, just so to make extra cash for school. Yes, maybe you don't need to go and register a company to do that. You can start it as a sole proprietorship. But once you decide that, okay, now you are done with school, or you want to graduate into something bigger, then you have to look at also, you have to look at how you can regularize it in the right way. And these are some of the things that you have to look at. I want to advise, it's not even ethical for me to tell you that talk to your law student friends, but at least they can give you better advice than you can give yourself. But talk to a lawyer or talk to someone who at least understands some of these technical issues from them to advise you. So after today, I want all of you to take action. Just 3 things that I want you to remember from whatever I said today, and I take my leave. If you are running a business with no structure, kindly structure it, make sure that you register it properly, and you have the proper documentation, because a time may come where it may be of need. If you are making verbal business agreements, start documenting them. Sometimes, even if you can't have a contract, at least keep your email trail, keep your text messages, so that even if we need to prove something, we can rely and say that, okay, so you had this, there was this correspondence that can be traced, rather than just doing everything verbal. And the last thing is, I'll tell you is that, especially when it comes to important things, important documents, make sure you consult a lawyer before signing them. And I just want to repeat what I said earlier. Sometimes what you read in English may look like something that you understand in English, but it may not necessarily be what you are seeing. There's more to it that someone with a technical or a legal eye can see. So thank you very much, as I also sit down and enjoy the rest of the event with you.
Yeah. Another round of applause. Lawyer Kobe Amoa. And my take home, if it is not documented, it means that it didn't happen. If it is not documented, it means that it didn't happen. And just yesterday, Dr. Akon, he's a pharmacist and is a lecturer at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. She said that yesterday, that if it is not documented, then it didn't happen. If you are looking for a lawyer, there's a lawyer here, Lawyer Ohene. You can talk to him. He's here, and he's from the region. So if you are looking for a lawyer to sanitize all your ideas, put them into action, talk to Lawyer Ohene. A round of applause for Lawyer Ohene. Lawyer, thank you. And he said you have to be very, very vigilant. Tell yourself vigilance. Vigilance. It sounds something else, but vigilance. So be very vigilant. Every single document, as a student, as a better entrepreneur, you should be able to read and understand. If you have problem with comprehension, find somebody who can do it excellently for you, and that will be the lawyer that I'm talking about. And then you have to separate business from pleasure. Okay, what they feeling about? My info need cry and company no home. Until now is Frank Cynthia Company Limited. A time will come. He will drag you and he'll pick everything. So separate business from pleasure. And these are my take-homes. I believe that you also have your take-homes because we are here to learn. We are here to cultivate. We are here to create and innovate. That's the essence. That's the reason we are here today. And we'd like to say a big thank you to the former Bono Ahafo Regional Chairman of the MPP, now the former Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, and the former Ambassador to India, His Excellency Kweku Asuma Cheme, here in this situation room. Put your hands together for His Excellency Kweku Asuma Cheme. Can you give us a wave? Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. Your Excellency, we thank you for solving our problems in India, and we thank you so much for serving Ghana at the best of your knowledge. Our second speaker, you all know him. I believe that you all have stories about him. You have nicknamed him in a different way, which I know you know. Don't share that one here. But yesterday, I talked to the Omahima of Yamfo traditional area, Nana Dakwa Ampim Chirwa II. He's the Omahima of Yamfo. And our next speaker was born at Yamfo and started his basic education at the Yamfo Roman Catholic Primary. At primary 6, this is very important. At primary 6, he became the school prefect. He became the school prefect at primary 6. Later on, he continued his studies at Rapid Preparatory International School here in Sunyani, passed his common entrance with excellence, and admitted at the prestigious Doma Secondary School, where he did both ordinary and advanced level certificate examination in business studies. He pursued a study with the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators, Level 1, at the Kumasi Polytechnic, and later he obtained his Bachelor of Arts degree in Accounting and Finance and Masters of Business Administration in Finance from the University of London, England, United Kingdom. But that's not all. He has obtained a PhD degree in Management Science and Engineering, majoring in Corporate Finance at the Jiangsu University in China. He is an associate member of the Institute of Chartered Management UK. He is also a banker and an entrepreneur. He is a board member of the National Scholarship Committee for Sunyani Municipal Assembly and the board member of Yamfo Allied Health Training College. He has published many academic books and journals. He is now the head of the Departments of Entrepreneurship and Business Sciences in the School of Management Sciences and Law here at UNE. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome with applause Professor Emmanuel Opoku Marfo.
Thank you, Mr. MC, Honorable Ken, my students here, and my co-lecturers. When the MC came in first, he did mention that any one of us here who wants to be a president of a company, raise up your hand. And I saw all hands were up. And who is to own the business, and all hands were up. We have Honorable here who is going to give you a practical experience in how business run and how business are grown. But as an academia, I'm here to use my center that I'm a director of as a lab to identify you and to let you know if indeed you qualify to own a business or you have to be an employee or an employer. Not all of us have to be presidents of businesses. Not all of us are qualified to be employers. Some are to be employees. So you ask yourself, am I an employer or an employee? That's what I'm going to work for you now. All of us here want to hear from Honorable King because he's the main speaker that everybody wants to hear. So we, John the Baptist, Sometimes people don't want to see us. We are wasting time, and that we need to clear off for the main speaker to come. So because of that, I'm not going to waste much of your time. I'm going to do a small exercise with you so that any message that comes up, you know how to absorb it. Either you absorb it as a president to be of a company, or you absorb it to be an employee. So I'm going to give you just a basic 10 questions. It's an exercise. And this question I'm going to give it out, it is not from me. It's about 22 professors from University of Ottawa, Canada, including some African professors, which I was fortunate to be part of the research team. And we have these 10 questions. And these 10 questions appears to be like a SWOT analysis that we're going to do. So here, I don't have to look at your friend. The answer your friend will give might be different from yours. If you don't be fair to yourself, and you pose your neck to somebody and you just select because that person have selected, you get it wrong. Because it's a personal issue. If you lie to yourself, you lie to collapse your own business. I told you earlier on when I did the welcome address that we have an MOU with National Service Authority, and it's going to be sponsored by MasterCard, that if you're able to get the good business, you get the funding from the center. But you cannot get it just like that. I'll take you through my lab and get to know your mind. Either you're an entrepreneur before we hand over the money to you. So that exercise is what we're going to go through now. And it's not difficult. Just that my brothers at this side cannot see from the board. I'll be reading. Just punch your answer on your phone. It's a figure. Either 1, 2, 3, or 5. If the answer is strongly yes to you, then you just punch 5. If it's an average, 2. If it is good or somewhere C, 3. And after that, if you add it, I'm going to give you the marking scheme. Then you yourself will see your score. And the score that you will see will tell you whether you are an employer or employee. And if you're an employer, it means that you are born to become an entrepreneur. And some of us can learn in theory and put them in practice before we can become entrepreneurs. A successful one, of course. So if your answer is below a certain level that you can never, and that see yourself as an employee, does not mean that you cannot learn the trade to become an employer. But it rather tells you that you can do it, but you need to be extra careful. So that when you are starting business and you are depending on loan as a source of finance or capital to run your business, and you know your position where you are, you tread cautiously. Because the money with you can just slip off your hand, because you are not born to become an entrepreneur. So don't lose money just like that. Some people say that when entrepreneurs start, he falls many times before he gets on his feet. But with this one, it will let the fall be minimized. But if you don't be real to yourself, and you just punch anyhow, your company can run anyhow. So follow me now. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. These are my questions. There are 10. Now, those people on the side cannot read from there. So I'm going to read it. So when I read, and the answer that appears to you, just like, I'm sorry to use the example. If you ask somebody who have said to himself that he would never go to church or mosque, and then you meet him one Sunday and ask him, are you from church? You will see the answer he will give it to you. No. That no is different than somebody who is a Christian. He used to go to church. He's a Muslim. He used to go to mosque all the time. And one Friday or Sunday, you meet a person. Did you go to church? Oh, today I couldn't go. So mild, isn't it? The difference between, oh, I couldn't go, and the difference between, no. So the no means that it's something that you hate at all. That don't bring it closer to me. So if I ask you the answer, you think that it is, no, that makes it 0. If you think that, oh, so middle one, 3. Oh, I'm from church, 5. You see the point I'm saying now here? So I'm giving you the clue, right? So now the first question. I like to be in control of what I do when I do it. I like to be in control to do it when I do it. If you want to do something, anything at all that you want to do. My question is that I like to be in control of what I do when I want to do it. I'm asking you the answer. Punch on your phone. If you think that you are not all that, if you are doing something, somebody have to come and tell you to do it, or you are selling something, but you yourself don't have the ego to go and do it, please, you take one. If you can do it by sometimes, somebody have to remind you too. If you think that nobody will remind you, but you yourself, you're already in there. 5, please. Second one, I will work all day on a task that interests me. If you are business and that business interests you and you are working, you don't care whether you sleep at the job place or not. If that is it, take 5. If you are somebody who come to do something and you need to be pampered, you need to be motivated before you will do it. If you don't push, you won't do it. 1. If you're in between, choose any number. Go at the end, I'm going to show the marking scheme that you know your position, you know yourself. Third one, I can adapt easily to unexpected changes. Some people don't want to change. The way they do things here are same. If you join my business, you can't adapt, you can't bring anything new on. Do as this is our corporate culture. I can adapt easily to unexpected change. An entrepreneur, you need to be like a sniffing dog. Get information, market information, and process so that you can grab the opportunity. Opportunities are not just meant for one person to grab. It is open to everybody. But if you stick to yourself, you don't want to hear anything from outside. 1. But if you are quickly adapt to changes, 5. Middle, 2 or 3. Then 4, I'm willing to live without much money. I'm willing to live without much money to pursue an idea that interests me. Much money, an idea that interests me. Some of us here want to get millions of cedis before we want to start something doing. Some of us can do little with it, and very soon they grow it. If I give you 1 million Ghana cedi and you work and you get 90 cedis profit, and I give you 100 and you work and you get 10 cedis, the 100 will perform better than your 1,000. So, the 5th one, I can switch quickly from one task to another. Entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, always on the run. But you have to stick to yourself that, if this one's not complete, why should I go for this one? I'm always sitting down, unless I see I'm okay here. Ask yourself, are you that type? 1 to 5. 6, I don't care about what other people say about me. I don't care what other people say about me. In our environment, anybody who is rich is what? If you're not fortunate and you have an accident and somebody die in your car, trouble for you. Do you listen to people when you want to make a move? The work you are going to do, people are teasing you. Crash deeper, or we're university, we're not where. I mean, if you care about them, your answer, 1 to 5. Pick one. 7. 1. Yeah, none. Not project team member. Are you a team member? Teams? Or usually take the lead? In project teams, yeah. In project teams, do you usually take the lead? Or you always try to be behind for somebody to lead? Wherever you find yourself, when you are to do something, then you push your friend to go. You don't want to. You hide yourself. Sunday school, when teachers ask questions, then your hands are down. You have something in your mind, you don't want to say. When the other person just mentioned it, I don't know me 3 more. If I had known, where can I come and tell? Are you that type? If you are, 1. If you can raise up your hand, then every time, there's some people in class, every time their hands are up first. But when you ask them, the answer is wrong. Always, if your hands are up, 5. Right? That kind of confidence, it means something. Right? Then, so that one, the research that we did have all this and it's proven. So we are moving on. Then, the last but one, I live up to my commitment and deliver on time. I live up to my commitment and on time. Do pay your bills on time. If you borrow money from somebody, do you want the person to ask for it before you pay? Or you yourself will go and pay for it? When somebody give you good to sell, then later you come and pay. But when the monies are coming in hand, you decide to go and buy from another source. So that later you want to trade with somebody's money before you go and pay the original supplier. At that type, 1 to 5. If you pay upfront, 5. If you can, you have to tease you before you can, or you have to bring police around before you, then 1. Then the last one. My family are entrepreneurs. Some people are born into it. Their parents are, so the genes are there. If your parents are into it, 5. If not, 3 or 4. And if you are a starter, don't care, don't mind yourself, just say 1. Because don't have anybody to train you, no experience being so far. So now, at the end of the 10, please, I'm saying that you want to hear the right things, so let me leave soon, right? This is my marking scheme. Add look there. Add what you have written. Add them. Add them. This one is for everybody. It doesn't matter whether you're a student or you are grown up. It's a small exercise. The questions were 10. The maximum mark was 5. 5 times 10, 50. If you got 50, it's not real. Yeah, if you got 50, it's not real. The questions, which one? The 7th question. Yeah, in project teams, I usually take the lead. I usually take the lead. If you have a group and you are doing something, you always don't want to push your friend. You go first as a leader. So now, your total, please add on. This time, the elderly among us can sit, and the young ones, who can volunteer to give you how much you get? The young ones, who not the age. Yeah, how much do you get? 21, 41, 27, 41, 30. Yeah, Anabu is here, so it's just like a little numbering. So, 39, thank you. Right? And this is my marking scheme. If you get 50, it's not real. You were not honest to yourself, right? Yeah, simply because it is not everything that can go to your class as a human being. No, it's not possible. But 40 to 50, now great potential. You are likely have what it takes to be an entrepreneur. Yeah. So now, if you are fair to yourself, please, that's why I said that it is SWOT analysis you are doing. If you lie to yourself and you base on it to say that you're an entrepreneur and you go and trap somebody's money, you'll be in trouble. So here, the 40 to 50 ones, please see yourself as a potential entrepreneur. So anything that comes into your mind, wherever you find yourself, try to look for pleasure. Try to look for pleasure. And if the pleasure is not there, then you ask yourself, what is missing here? That is making the place challenging. That is a gap. And that gap is something that you can create to remove that kind of difficulty or challenge. And it is giving you a direction to come up with a product. And that product, if it's the first of its kind, because if it is there already, you would not have felt that kind of impact. So once it's the first of its kind, and you're able to come up with it, it is the opportunity that you have seen first. Before others can copy you, you'll be the market leader. And you'll come up with a product that the market is expecting. If you enter the market with a wrong product, you can never become successful. You can never. Because you are going to the market to dilute the profit that others are enjoying. So you try to think of how you can enter the market with the new product and at the right time. 30 to 40. Let me read for those who are not here. Says that challenges ahead. You could do it, but you will face some challenges. So, Honorable, who is a renowned entrepreneur, will tell you that seeing somebody successful in entrepreneurship does not mean that you just had it. A lot of challenges. So, if you're afraid of it, there's no way you can become successful. Businesses that are of higher profit carries a lot of risk. And if you're afraid of risk, you have to step off from the train. You cannot. You live, you dream, you do everything by your business. If you're not careful and somebody greets you, remember to mention, instead of a response for that particular greeting, you mention your company's name. Because that's what you dream of. You forget of yourself. Everything is about your business. Today is Saturday. A relative may be in bed, laid in bed for a funeral. You may decide to ignore it and be in your working environment. It may be difficult for some of us. But if you are under the 40 and 30, know that you can do it. But below 30, somebody mentioned 21 or 27. He's been real. That person thinks that he can never be. But he can support somebody with his strength, physique, energy, to support somebody's idea, and two of them become successful. You think that you have nothing. There are some people with us who are entrepreneurs. They have brilliant ideas. They can share with you, but they will never make a step. They will never make a step. And they can advise you to become successful, but they themselves are not successful. So if we are fortunate to get somebody who has done it and is successful, it's come to share with us, today we will get the practical one that all of us are going to enjoy and learn from it. So, if you have an employee that you are working with, do not see that the entrepreneur, the employee is somebody who has no idea. So it's somebody you can walk over. Without them, you have no business. It is the human being that makes the business. It's the person who you are working with that makes you the business. So as an entrepreneur, you let your employee own the business. Let's take it that the business is theirs. And for that matter, they'll come up with all that they have and give you the best that you can. I advise some of my mentees that came in that they are doing recruitment and that I should get them the best kind of people to them, for them to be trained to work with. Looking at your capital you are holding and the strength that you have, you don't need qualified persons to work with. Sir, I need an accountant who has got an excellent first class. Sir, you don't have enough capital. If you engage this person, come next 3 months, will tell you, Master, I've gotten a master admission somewhere at Legon, and I want to leave. Meanwhile, if you use a little money to train this person, then he leaves you. So I told this lady that because of your capital, go for the third class groups. Those who passes and third class. Say, but this one, you see, yes. They are the one that can be with you until the kingdom come. They themselves, they don't want people to see their grace. So when they get job, they make a cross. That where I've gotten to, I will never let anybody see my results again. So I will stay here. When even you slap that person, call him in the night, anytime, he's ready. But the first class guys, you even come and tell you, you the owner, you yourself. I wanted to see you third class, you will pass. And me first class. It has been happening. And you have used your little money to engage this person, train him to be working for you to recoup what he has spent on. He's leaving you. And that's not prudent for a young entrepreneur. You have to make sure that you get the resources that you can control. Don't go beyond your capabilities. And that will outweigh you. I have a lot of information to share with you on this slide. But because of the timing and what you want to hear, I just want you to introduce all of you into my center, that after here, it doesn't end. Come to my center. It is open to public. Anybody want to do anything, come in there. Even if you are to look for a source of capital, we can advise you as to where you can get some at a cheaper rate. And if you qualify for the MasterCard funding, we'll give it to you. So we have a link here that's down there. all those who registered, I'll use your telephone numbers and send all of you this link, and I get your database, so that we'll be interacting and help you. We'll get you the mentors to help your businesses, any kind of business you want to do. You want to have this database, and we'll be working with you. Honorable, I just prepared the people that are listening to you, and those who have to listen and making sure that they need to collaborate, and those who individually can listen, take the words, and apply them to make them useful for them. So as you sit here, any word that come, apply to your own situation. Don't apply to any other body. And I say collaboration also works. If you think that your answer is somewhere and your friend's answer is somewhere, please combine, come together, and ideas can yield positive. And I present to you the number of my invitees who are from Sunyani community. And members, by the sponsors of this program, Skillforce Ghana and CIBI, Center for Entrepreneurship and Business Incubation, UNE, I stand on their behalf as the leader, and myself invite you to have this congenial environment. And it's just like a human conversation you're coming to do, not for any other purpose. So the benefit at the end of the lecture, you will recall for more information. Thank you very much for your audience.
Prof, another round of applause for Prof. Now, who got 2? Nobody got 2? My friend Gaji, I was sneaking. So while they were doing the calculation, I was also typing. He got 24. Where is he placed? 24. Gaji, 24. And I'm not surprised. When Gaji came back from United States, he was living in New Jersey. When he came, he wanted to apply for driver licenses. So he wanted DVLA to apply for driver licenses. He wrote the exam 3 times. He thought America exams, they are harder. But Ghana exams, Prof, it was shit. So we didn't do said that you hadn't. Set 2 questions I didn't think, but me, I didn't bother to calculate because I don't like questions. The last time Bomia gave Amizata 77 questions, he died. Not long ago, President Mahama gave Bomia only 5 questions. He died politically in 2024. So I don't like questions. I don't like answering any questions. But thank you so much for the questions. A round of applause once again for Prof. Now we are live on NET2 TV. We are again live on Oman FM. So if you have lied to somebody that you are in Brukum or you've gone to Kumasi, you are live. And according to one of the factors, you should not lie. You should look for more information and knowledge. So that's how it is. Now, our next guest, he doesn't need any elaborate introduction. No, because his name is a household name. And he might be the reason you are here. But to do that for me perfectly is one of our campaign coordinators. Mr. Armstrong Issa, would you like to join me here? Put your hands together for Mr. Armstrong. How much did you score?
I actually didn't. I knew the response you were going to give. I didn't want to die, so I didn't calculate.
Better. That's called the grace theory. Don't calculate. Armstrong here. Armstrong has been with Honorable Kennedy Agyapong for a long time. He has been speaking for and on behalf of the Ken team. He knows him more than anybody in this room. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present this microphone for Armstrong.
Thank you, Senior. A bigger round of applause for him. And ladies and gentlemen, much more bigger and louder round of applause for yourselves. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. It's always a pleasure to address the youth, the future leaders of the Republic of Ghana. And so as I address you, I am being mindful that I'm addressing the future entrepreneurs, the future ministers, and the future president of the Republic of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, for the purposes of emphasis, I am addressing the future Kennedy Ohene Agyapongs in the room. Gentlemen, I've been called upstage here to introduce a man who does not need any introduction in any field. In business, he doesn't need any introduction. In politics, he doesn't need any. Every aspect of our life, he does not need any introduction. And this is taken from a story a colleague with us just recently. He was asked how he got to know Honorable Ken Ohene Agyapong, and his narration left all of us in tears. He said 15 years ago, he had an admission to the University of Cape Coast, but had no money to pay for the admission fees. So, desperate as he was, he decided to go to the Parliament House to seek sponsorship or scholarship from Ken Ohene Agyapong. For the first time in his life, he met Honorable Ken Ohene Agyapong, told him his requests, and Honorable Ken Ohene Agyapong looked him in the face, ladies and gentlemen, without any hesitation. Honorable Ken Ohene Agyapong dipped his hand in his pocket, brought out everything he had from his pocket, gave it to this young man to go and pay his fees. And then to keep the rest. Interestingly, today, that man is a PhD holder, a doctor, and he says that everything he is because of Honorable Ken Ohene Agyapong. There are thousands and one stories of this benevolence. This is the heart of the man you are about to listen to. He's a kind man, a kind businessman, and a good. Ladies and gentlemen, in the world of business, the keynote speaker, ladies and gentlemen, in the world of business, the keynote speaker is a highly successful businessman, a highly successful industrialist, a highly successful entrepreneur with over 40 years of business experience. And his businesses stretch across almost every industry, every sector you can imagine. He has a strong presence in the media industry. We are being covered live and televised live by his media networks. He also has a very heavy presence in the manufacturing sector of the economy. Ladies and gentlemen, the next speaker again has a massive business presence in the cold storage sector. And of course, the biggest cold store in Africa is owned by the next key speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to announce to all of you that he employs over 7,000 Ghanaian youths across all the sectors of his companies, businesses. He's always driven by the passion to create wealth, to create job opportunities and employment opportunities for the youth of our people. Ladies and gentlemen, beyond business, you know very well that Honorable Ken Ohene Agyapong, in terms of business, is a colossal brand and a household name with over 35 years of political experience. I am happy to inform you, you know already, that he's a founding member of the Dankwa Buzia Domo Club that gave birth to the New Patriotic Party some 34, 35 years ago. And also he is a founding member of our beloved New Patriotic Party. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Ken Ohene Agyapong has been a member of parliament for 24 solid, unbroken years for the good people of Asin Central. And so he's the immediate past member of parliament for Asin. In the year 2023, just 2-3 years ago, you remember, and it is not lost on me to remind all of us, that he contested for the flag bearership position of the New Patriotic Party and became second. A dream he has not abandoned. A dream he still holds on, hoping that one day he will win that highest office of the land for the general good of all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to finally say that inshallah, as stated in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3, and it says, the vision awaits an appointed time, and it shall surely come to pass. This is a prophecy from Prophet Armstrong. Sir, put your hands together for me. Ladies and gentlemen, before they come in, I am happy to inform all of you that the keynote speaker is celebrated as the father for the fatherless. He's celebrated as the voice for the voiceless. He's celebrated as the hope for the hopeless. Celebrated as a compassionate philanthropist and a champion advocate for the vulnerable. He's not just a businessman. These are the identifiable attributes of the unique businessman we have. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready while we prepare to welcome him with a standing ovation. Let's welcome the esteemed Honorable Kennedy Akufo-Addo Agyapong.
Control. government take control. I say we know do. Hey, Pampana, come and see you. Hey, Pampana, come and see you. Hey, come and see what the Lord has done. 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 Hey, Pampana, come and see you. Come and see. Hey, Pampana, come and see you. Hey, come and see what the Lord has done. 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 Hey, Pampana, boni dia yo, fate yo, keru. Hey, Pampana, boni dia yo, fate yo, let's wait. Hey, kenu doye, odo wo. Say me walking now, me wa de yin ara, na say can me wa me a, ade yin ara me. Say me walking now, me wa de yin ara, na say can me wa me a, ade yin ara me. Say me walking. Say me walking now, me wa de yin ara, na say can me wa me a. Hey, say me walking now, me wa de yin ara, na say can me wa me a, ade yin ara me. Say me walking now, me wa de yin ara, na say can me wa me a, ade yin ara me. Say me walking now, me wa de yin ara, na say can me wa me a, ade yin ara me. Say me walking now, me wa de yin ara. Hey, me say mo. Hey.
Thank you very much. Colleague speakers, faculty members of various institutions present, students from various institutions present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Let me take this opportunity to thank all of you for spending time to hear what I have to say. Before I do that, I want to extend my congratulations to the organizers of this program. It is well attended with decorum. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak to the students. I've had intellectual discussions this afternoon. I'm tempted to do same, but both of the speakers made mention that I will be doing the practical ones. But there are things in common that we have to share, whether it's academic or strictly business. Every individual here, I will share my personal experience with you. But let me do a few academic exercises here. And you see that the 10 questions the professor gave, I'll give you 5 acronyms. The acronyms, and you can answer the 10 questions. It's simply anybody who wants to do business must have a set of goals that he wants to achieve. And to do that, you need to do 5 things. It's called GOSPA. That's the acronym, GOSPA. Gospel means goals, objectives, strategies, planning, and activities. If you want to be a businessman or entrepreneur, I see my good friend Kwame mixing entrepreneur and a businessman. There's difference between a businessman and entrepreneur. Our professor will tell you. But we are not here to argue. But I want you to get it clear that when you speak English, speak English. You are directed. So there's difference between a businessman and entrepreneur. But the 5 things, that's you set goals for yourself. Your goals, you should have objectives. The objectives, you should have strategy. And the strategies, you should have plans, how you plan it. And how you execute it is the activities. Again, there are 7 qualities of a leader, entrepreneur, or a businessman. Those are: 1, every entrepreneur, every businessman should have a vision. What is your vision? You know, Prof said something that I can argue. We are not here to do academic exercise. But I want to tell you, in life, research clearly indicates that the number that we claim that they are born entrepreneurs are insignificant, and therefore nobody is born an entrepreneur. It is how you perceive life. It's an individual dream, what you want to be or what you want to become. And how well you plan it and how well you dedicate your time and execute it, that will make you a different person among colleagues or peers. What are the qualities? The vision and the courage. The courage comes back to what Professor was saying, risk. You should have the courage to take risk. If you have fantastic idea and you are thinking or afraid to invest your savings, then you can never be an entrepreneur. Therefore, you should have courage and take the risk. 3, integrity. Integrity. A successful leader, a successful businessman, a successful entrepreneur has to be honest and sincere in his dealings with everybody. Without that, I'm afraid your business will not thrive. And that is, I will dwell on that when I begin to tell you my life story. Humility is the 4th one. You have to be humble. When you are dealing with your workers, don't be bossy. Get everybody involved. Your relationship with them inspires them and gives them courage to work fervently in your favor. But you get to an institution or organization where the owner of the business have no respect for the workers, that business will not thrive. Although you brought the idea, you are the owner of the business, you have to be humble for your workers to accept you and work with happiness. That will grow your business. Every entrepreneur, every businessman, every leader should have a foresight. Foresight. Any person who has a foresight into a business thinks of the future and can see the future of the business and can make predictions. Because in a competitive world where we are all selling the same product, if you don't think of what is going to happen tomorrow, if you don't have the foresight to envisage what will happen tomorrow, your business will not thrive. Because products come and go. It changes all the time. How are you going to satisfy your customers? So you should have a foresight as to what you are going to do to your business. Then cooperation is the last one. The 7 qualities of a businessman or entrepreneur or a leader is cooperation. It's somehow similar to humility. Anybody who is humble can incorporate all workers, the team from the top to the production line. He can organize them and effect changes and make profit. So these are 7 qualities of an entrepreneur. Then also the gospel that I told you, that you need to set goals for yourself. No, but before I start, share my personal experience with you. Clap for yourself. Students that have traveled far, University of Energy and Natural Resources, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, College of Health, Yamfo, University of Mines and Technology, and Catholic University of Ghana. Clap for yourself again. It tells you you are a dreamer. It tells you you have a foresight. Today, I've performed 2 functions. Agyapong, the politician, Akintampo, and I'm here, Agyapong, the businessman or the entrepreneur. Combination of both. Why I ask you to clap for yourself is that, 1, you want to better your life. That is why you've come here to listen to me, share experience with you, and if you can also incorporate that into your thinking or your vision. You have colleagues, students who are doing other things which they deem priority to them. But you are here because you want to improve your life. Sorry, forgive me. Sunyang Technical University 2 is present. Let's clap for them. So we have 6 tertiary institutions here. And I'll say, you are doing the right thing. You know what? You've heard of Agyapong, Agyapong, Agyapong. Agyapong was born into a poor home, a village that was not in the map, Asendompim, in Central Region. Those days, to go to secondary school, we call something common entrance. You have to pass before you can go to secondary school, or SHS. A village boy from Asedom. I went to Adisado College. Oh boy, yes. I went to Adisado College, and with my chop box and trunk, that time the road was bad. It was so dusty, Prof. So when I got there, you could tell that this guy is a fool. My hair was brown, the eyelash, everything. So one senior looked at me and called me, "Hey, come here." I went to him, and he asked me, "What is your name?" I said, "Kwame Agyapong." "Where are you from?" You know, I did not even say Asendompim, because as for Asendompim, it's west. So I said, Asenfosu. He said, "Where is Asenfosu?" "Efuomo, Efuomo." And they were teasing me. In the classroom, you guys are lucky. I went to elementary school, what we call SAR7. 10 years elementary school before going to secondary school. To make one me at the age 16. Meanwhile, this time, I have a daughter who graduated from Johns Hopkins University at the age of 17. And that time, at age 17, I was in secondary Form 2. So I was at the back. So any master who comes, like history master, maths, English, whatever, will first introduce himself and ask each of the students to introduce himself as well. So when it gets to me, I'm at the back there because I was tall. I have young boys. Some are 12, 13, 14, and I was 16, so you can imagine. And they were from preparatory school, Morning Star, Association, Radiant Way, Wine. I didn't know. I'm from Asendompim, early middle school. So the master will call, "Yes, the gentleman back there. What is your name?" And all the young ones will just turn and look at me and shout, "Kwame Agyapong, Efuomo, Efuom, Anu Blofu Cheme." They were laughing. But I had a purpose, and I knew why I was there. You know, I couldn't speak Ga well, and still I don't speak Ga well. But this one I understood. You know, you get Eziat and you visit girlfriend. We had Holy Child, Wesley Girls, Agri mix, National mix, and some will travel as far as Mfansiman to go and chase women. And when they come back, they tell their story, shaking all the body. Today, chick, 4A, I saw the mole, and they'll be talking. That time, I'll be washing seniors' clothes. I didn't have a chance. And again, you need a spotless white shirt to go to Holy Child or Wesley Girls to talk to a girl. I was from a poor family. How am I going to get that? So I didn't even bother. And even the English, when you meet the woman, you have to think of what you are going to say. You construct it in your head before you voice out. So I wouldn't bother at all. But we continued, struggling. And here we are today. I can tell you, that poor boy from Asindom, I can proudly say that this time, there is nothing that will go on in Adisado College that I will not be involved. God has done his part. I have also done my part. I'm giving you this background for you to know that all is not lost. There is hope. There is hope. And I said this at Kintampo. A man called Benjamin Franklin said, "Great hopes makes everything possible." Benjamin Franklin said, "Great hopes make everything possible." So you have to challenge yourself. Have hope. Have confidence. Say to yourself, what any man has done, what the white man has done, what Indian has done, I, mention your name, I can also do it. And that's the beginning of your entrepreneurship. When you begin to challenge yourself that all things are possible. And if Mr. A has done it, I, Mr. B, am capable. So you first need confidence, courage, no intimidation whatsoever. But in this world, if you succeed in business, first cardinal principle is hard work. Second, honesty. If you're a hard-working guy, what do I mean by hard work? We're going to complete our education here, and the standard hours for every business is 8 hours. You have a job, and 8 hours, you go home. The salary for 8 hours cannot make you survive with your new girlfriend or boyfriend. So what you have to do is to take another job, second job. If you're going to work another 4 hours, you save that money. So we come to the word savings. Typical example is here. You are here. Parents give you money to come to school. What you have to do is simply live a subsistent life and do not keep up with the Joneses. The Joneses, if you don't understand what I mean by that, is that you might happen now, a poor boy like in Agyapong, God has blessed me, my children. If you see my children wearing Ferragamo or Christian Louboutin, and you say to yourself, that lady is laughing here, Fendi, Chanel, then you also say, oh, because Agyapong's daughter is wearing Ferragamo, I'm also going to buy Ferragamo. That is keeping up with the Joneses. You don't need that. Save your money. And no matter how small your income is, If you are not married and you are working, save 70% of your income. How are you going to do that? Especially, this goes to the women. The women, they always want freedom to get boyfriends. So after college, instead of staying with parents and saving money, because when you go out there, the most expensive thing you're going to do, that takes about 30% of your income is rent. So any lady who will say that I want to go have my room or apartment, you are foregoing 30% savings. Because when you move from your parents' house, you have to cough that 30% to pay your bill. So if you earn 1,000 cedis and your rent is 300, if you are staying with your parents, you don't want them to disrespect you. So at least you come home every month, you give them 100. You save 200 from rent. Now, if you leave home because you have a new job, you leave home, you are going to pay 30%, which is 300. And the rest of the income is 700. How much are you going to save? So it applies to the gentlemen too. I think I should have started with the guys, because they want women. They are in a hurry to get girls. But if you don't save, trust me, if you don't have money, the women will come, they look at where you live, and they put up some attitude. It means you are nothing to write home about. They have to find another man. So you need to stay with parents for at least 5 years and save enough money before you move out. And that savings becomes your capital. And lawyer will tell you, I have my honorable member here. He's also a very good entrepreneur. Honorable Alfred Obin. Maybe he is quiet. I'm loud. That's why you don't hear his name, but he's really good. In life, to succeed in life, the most difficult thing to get is capital. That is why I'm stressing on savings. When you save and you have enough capital, or you have certain amount, you have a dream to establish a factory. Don't go big. Don't go big. Start the business small and grow it. And one day, you ask yourself, am I the same person? Because the first question people ask me, those who don't know me, ask, how did you make it? I told them, savings. I'm here to tell you my story, to encourage you, to inspire you, that you can be somebody. Say to yourself, I'll be somebody. I'll be somebody. Because if Agyapong, I was hawking on the street. Every vacation, my mother was selling on a table in front of us, Mr. Donko's shop. I'll go and collect some of the items on the board, go around and start shouting, going around. Yes, pick a chocolate, Tatra, Nazet, yes, raw. Yes, pick a chocolate, Tatra, Nazet, yes, raw. So what makes you think you cannot do it? A PK seller. I have Rolls Royce, I have Bentley, I have Maybach. You know, I have all these cars packed. I don't even drive them. You can do it. Say, I can do it. I can do it. But not just saying you can do it, you can do it. A dint of hard work, honesty, ability to save. And when you accumulate capital, some people, Prof was describing, they are afraid to take risk. So the money will be sitting in the bank. Every month when they get their balance, they are so excited. You are not going to do well. You need to take risk and invest the capital. So investment, that's where you take the risk and you are different from other colleagues who are looking at their bank statement every month thinking they have money because they are comfortable to be civil servant for the rest of their lives. And I know those of you here don't want to be civil servants. That's why you are here to listen. You want to be owners of businesses. You want to be CEOs. You want to be captains and giants of industries. That is why you are here. And that makes you exceptional human being. Clap for yourself. You know, you might not take it seriously, but go back to your dormitories, your homes, and reflect soberly all the nonsense the speakers we have said to you. And you see that in real life, it makes a lot of sense. So this is the beginning of your entrepreneurship. The practical experience. As for Prof is giving you the academics, I have a brilliant lawyer also giving it. And they force me only to be practical. But I can also do an academic exercise. Because you need to combine both to succeed. But what I'm telling you with my personal experience is not in the books anywhere. To succeed in life, put these things down. This side of the world, when you establish a business, know Jesus Christ anywhere. No family member anywhere. No ebusuapanyini anywhere. If you build your business alongside your family, you are bound to collapse. Our culture, what is different in this side of the world is our culture. Our culture does not help businesses here because when you read books, the entrepreneurship, it tells you the first thing, when it strikes your mind that you have to fire your worker, don't go back. You have to fire him. But this side of the world, they will bring a pastor to come and beg. They will bring your mother, oh, Kwame, ne mame ya me nyonko pa, me nene started life. Rubbish. No, I'm serious. Because businesses have collapsed because of our culture. You can go to Harvard. You can go to Yale. You can go to any of the Ivy League schools. The culture and the mindset of Ghanaians, our attitude towards work is not taught over there. This you acquire through experience. That is why I'm sharing with you. If you want to be a different person, then please try and do away with culture. What we can do for your family is that You build your business, and when your mother needs money, put her on a salary aid and pay her just like you pay your workers. Your brother, pay him, same. Leave them out of your business because they will collapse your business, and you that toil to raise capital to establish a business. Anytime there's an issue at home, you are the first to be blamed and not the one who squandered your money. You, the builder, you are always at fault because family members think you are rich and therefore they are entitled. That entitlement is not in the books because a white man doesn't think you are entitled, and therefore if you make a mistake in his business, he's not going to fire you. He'll fire you. So you guys, the culture in this country does not help our businesses. One academic exercise that I forgot, let me go back to it. The challenges of you and all of us as Ghanaians is access to capital. And you are fortunate that Professor has a link to help some of you to get capital. Access to capital is our challenge in this country. Why do I say that? We can equally compete with Indians, Lebanese, Chinese, and every national. But we are not able to do it because they go for loans at a lower rate between 4 to 5% to come and establish business here. Whereas we Ghanaians go for a loan at a rate of 35% and up. How can you compete? I just took over a company. So the 7,000 now, first March, I'll add 300 workers to it. I took over a company. They do bottling, sacks, and all those things. I'm going to compete with Indians because they have monopolized that sector. They've monopolized that sector because of cheap loans, access to cheap loans. That's why they've dominated our economy. They get reasonable loans between 4 to 5%, come here and establish business. Whereas Ghanaians, we take a loan with interest of 35%. How can you compete with a business or an organization or institution or whatever that has gone for a loan of 5% and yours is 35%? That is why you see a lot of Ghanaians not doing well. And with time, inshallah, one day I'll change it. You know, so access to capital is our challenge that we need to address. Again, to succeed in life, young men, you have to be honest in your dealings. A lot of Ghanaian businesses are also not attracting partners because of dishonesty. Read my lips. I'm not afraid. I'll tell you the truth. Because of dishonesty, Ghanaian businesses are not attracting partners. Partners meaning strategic partners with money that can invest into our business because we are not honest. Prof was telling us about partnership. With my experience, Prof, it's not easy to go into partnership with Ghanaians. They go out there, especially if you are a minority shareholder. the majority shareholder goes out there, oh, can Agyapong, or 20% depending, you know, a whole lot of things. It doesn't encourage it. But if you want to succeed in life, on a more serious note, you have to be honest in your dealings. For the past 3 weeks, I've been to Dubai 3 times to strike deals. I'm going to set up an ethanol factory, and the amount involved is about $400 million, and therefore I need partners. I can't do it alone. But Prof, what is self-gratifying is that we are in a global world. You know, what they do well is that before you get there to do or have a meeting with them, they have your profile. They have your profile. And when you sit there, they greet, they do everything, they know everything about you. They know who you are. So if you are not honest, and we have duped some investors, it's there. If you are honest, now I've met 5 billionaires, not just a billion, nobody worth less than $10 billion, and they are willing to do business with me. Why? Because of honesty. I was owing a Chinese guy $5.8 million before election. He was worried. And one Chinese guy in Ghana here told him, as for Ken, he will never take your money. He will pay. And I've paid the money. That goodwill alone is money. When it's out there, black and white, that this man is honest and sincere, everybody is prepared to deal with you. So honesty in life, I call it honesty is success. Honesty is success. If you are honest with whoever you are dealing with, they can start you, maybe they'll be testing you. They give you credit. I'll give you one example. The new company that I bought, the Indian guy deals with 5 companies. I've gone to Dubai to meet 2 of them. The 3rd company was here. And 2 others are coming April to meet me. They were worried that the company is changing hands. But the Indian guy told them, no, that man, he is very honest. And they are happy to deal with me because they give credit of 90 days. I'll use their product for the manufacturing, and 90 days I pay them. And when I even check the cost, I laugh. Say, I can pay you cash. I don't need your credit. You know, I can pay you cash because when I look at, I just laugh. I can pay them cash. But as a good businessman, if I have that credit facility, I have to make good use of it. So, but I'm going to be sincere. So honesty is success. Then when you are investing, it comes to, Prof said, serial entrepreneur. Honestly, this investment, my position was just social entrepreneur. I don't do charity work, but this time, when I entered the floor and saw Ghanaian workers, I just decided to buy it, just to keep the Ghanaian workers. And I've done exactly that. Normally, my business practice, I would have gone through all the books, although I've done that. Because of Ghanaian workers that I saw on the factory floor, factory hands. I just gave 50% of it. No, I gave him 70% of what he's asking for before I even started going into his books. So I was not serious, I was not anything. This one was social. But trust me, I will turn it around. So young men and women here, I know the place is hot. I'm talking too much. I would have given you a lot of details. But first thing you need is hard work. Second, savings. Third, the honesty comes before the savings. But savings come before honesty, because if you don't have the savings, you can't do anything. So hard work, savings, capital, investment, honesty. These 5 thematic areas, if you follow it, you excel. You'll be a different person among your peers. You should always have the drive. Ask me, how did you make it? And I'll tell you. Me, my success, I always turn my negatives to be positives or blessing. Because me, I succeeded in life because of women who disappointed me. I don't feel shy, I'll tell you. I had the brains all right. Economics, girls, they call vacation employment, Prof. When they come to my house, they become so disappointed and they leave. You know, so one day, a girl dogged me and I told her, Janet, one day I'll be somebody. You know, so I turned my negatives to be positives. And one day, it came to pass. I was in London, British Airways flight. Then I was at the first class. She was at the economy. And between the first class and the economy is the business class. So I didn't see her, honestly, but she saw me. And she wanted to come from the economy, go through business class, and come to first class. And they stopped there. But I didn't know. I came to the business class because I had a lot of friends there to chat. Then I saw somebody waving. I realized it was her. I went to her. Then she said, oh, I wanted to come to first class. And I said, Janet, have you forgotten the story about the rich man and the Lazarus? You are not coming from economy to business. You are jumping business to first class. It never worked. I told you, one day I'll be somebody. You know? So they dogged me, because I was from poor home. I said, I'm never going to be poor again. So I made sure I saved a lot of money. And it's possible. Look, let me tell you, in Germany, I was washing plates at a restaurant, and I had another job at the supermarket, ProMart. When I went to America, I was working at Zaro Bakery. Then I got a job at Gasiteria, filling station, gas station you call. I was able to do the 2 jobs, Zaro Bakery and Citco gas station. And the Citco gas station, I start 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., Monday to Thursday. Then Friday, 10 p.m. till Monday morning. And I was making $285 from gas station and $120 from my main job, which is the bakery. But a combination of the two, a guy with no green card that time, making 400 and change was a lot of money. That time, the Ghanaians who were citizens were working at hotels, Waldorf Astoria, Hilton, and all those things. And sometimes they come back home 8 hours, drinking Old English, Core 45, Budweiser, and all those things. That time when they were drinking Budweiser and all the cold drinks, I was working at a gas station. I saved money and I bought my first taxi. And that taxi, every day, I saved $100. Every month, I made sure I saved $3,000. That time. Then I'll go and buy another used car, partition it, because if you don't do that, somebody will kill you, bulletproof. Then insurance, everything, $3,000. And I'll give it to another driver and demand $40 a day. In 8 months, in 7 months, I had 8 taxis. Wow. And 7 taxis, they were paying $280 a week, multiply it by 7. And I was saving $100 a day, 30 days, $3,000. That's where I bought my first house for my mother at East Legon, Ambassadoria Enclave. You know, I challenged myself. I didn't look back. I didn't say that I was born and bred into a poor home, and therefore it was not possible. I challenged myself and said to myself, it is possible. What any man has done, I, Agyapong, can do it too. And here we are today. So I'm not shy to tell you where I'm coming from. I'm saying this to inspire you that all is not lost. I look at your faces, and you guys are lucky in life because you are very young. I went to Fordham University at the age of 33. And when I was going to Fordham University, I had $1,145,000 in my account. And I have built on it till today. So I'm sharing this with you to encourage you that all things are possible. If you put your mind to it, you put in dedication, commitment, work hard, save money, you can postpone the saving, today's expenditure for tomorrow. Okay? Because that is where I argue with the keeping up with the Joneses, buying this and that. I was staying, this is the last example I'm giving you, in the Bronx. We were 4 gentlemen staying in 1-bedroom apartment. And that 1-bedroom apartment, meaning a living room and a bedroom. In fact, the owner of that apartment is from Dumosia, here. I won't mention because they are very popular. And 4 guys were staying there. But they locked the bedroom because the owner had a water bed. That time, it was big, a big deal, water bed in the room. So he didn't allow us to sleep there. So 4 guys were in the living room sleeping in couch there. Then Sundays, Friday evening, the owner of the hotel, his brother, was having about 8 limousines that time, will come to the apartment with a beautiful black American girl. Then they all high, they are on cocaine. So you can imagine when they are having sex, You could hear them. I'm giving you practical experience. You guys think, oh, can Agyapong started, then that's it. No, I've gone through hell. Then whatever they were doing, you could hear. Sometimes, Prof, you think your colleagues are sleeping, but when the noise going on, one will get up and go to the bathroom. So they all decided to go and rent their place. And listen, because I had 2 jobs, I was paying 50% of the rent for the 3 guys also to pay 50%. When they decided to go and rent their place, they were paying full amount. And meanwhile, I connected them to bakery, the bakery, Zaro Bakery, and they were making 120. Because they want girlfriends, it cost them a lot of money. So freedom is expensive. And these guys, when they left, one guy gossiped and said, oh, Kwame dear, with all what Tommy is doing, he can't move from the place. He's cheap. Meanwhile, the apartment, our neighborhood was far better than where they've gone to rent. But this is what he said. And I told the man who told me what my roommate said. I said, go and tell him, the day I move from this apartment, I will not be going into an apartment. I'll go to my own home. And I did exactly that. Moving from 740 178th Street straight to Commonwealth Avenue, 624 Commonwealth Avenue. At the age of 28, 1988, I bought a house, 624 Commonwealth Avenue, $220,000, and I gave a deposit of $69,000. My house was next to Jennifer Lopez's mother. They were 622 Commonwealth, and I was 624 Commonwealth. You see, those colleagues who left because of women and the partners they want. Today, I have over 200 houses. Sometimes, when I'm going, I have to call my cousin Da Costa to go and show me. Yeah, he knows everything, you know. So I'll go. One day, a doctor wanted to rent my place at Race Junction. I went there about 2 hours. I couldn't find the house. So I had to call Da Costa. You see, that poor boy from Asindom, through dint of hard work and seriousness and sacrifices in life, here we are today, sharing my story with intellectuals like you. Say you can do it too. And one day, I'll be somebody. One day, I'll be somebody. Thank you very much.
Applause for our keynote speaker, Honorable Ken. Now, I saw one of the guys trying to do some calculations on his phone when you mentioned the $80 million. Ufilm ebe phone now person yam now person all the boss figures no o calculate the cities ma enkoso ti asesa enye 8 million Ghana cedis o $8 million. But one day you can be somebody. Now I was wondering, Honorable said he was selling. Yes, PK, chocolates, Nazareth, Rob. Is that a combination? Yes, PK, chocolate, Tatra, Blade, Nazareth, and Rob. Okay. PK and chocolate, they are all confectionaries. That I understand. But how would you sell Blade and Rob? That combination is weird, though. Blade and Rob. You know, anyway, Honorable, thank you so much. But my take home is what we call the gospel. He mentioned the gospel. The G is what? Goal. The O is what? Objective. The P? Aha. You are brilliant. A round of applause for yourself. Yes, it means that you've been able to memorize everything here. We thank you so much. And you also talk about discipline, hard work, resilience, savings, capital, and investment, and above all, honesty. Now, he said honesty is success. You didn't be there, you didn't know, didn't hear, you know. Honesty is success. Thank you. And I'm glad that you listen so well. And these are not just literature. These are not just words. If you're able to practicalize them, one day you shall be somebody. Now, Honorable came along with a huge team. Now, Armstrong was supposed to do that for me, but we also have here Honorable Alfred Obin Boateng. He is the Member of Parliament for Bibiani Anya Bekwai. Oh, no, I said that because, you know, I'm going to say something again. All right. He said I should call him the former Member of Parliament for Bibiani Anya Bekwai. But we know that 2028, he is coming back because one day he shall be somebody again. Okay. Now, I've seen so many familiar faces here. I've already told you about Gaji, who actually passed the exams by taking the exam 3 times. I have my brother here, lawyer Ohene, and Mr. Marfo. I don't know how many of you have heard a place called Sapphire Gardens. Sapphire Gardens is in Kumasi at Asman, so he is the founder and the chief executive of Sapphire Gardens. I believe that this Easter, he has Easter in the Park at Sapphire Gardens. He has been a loyal friend to Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. And so a round of applause for my good friend, Brave. And then, you said? Oh, they say rise up. Okay. Yeah. He's a fine boy. And then we have a prince from the Dagbon land. He's the prince of Yana. Distinguished ladies, you will put your hands together for the prince. And I have the immediate past deputy CEO of NASIA, Mr. Kweku Apia Mensah. Thank you so much, Mr. Kweku Apia Mensah. Over land here, Bernie. The ice and sla. Now, what am I saying? Yeah. I will more. Did I hear June July? No. I sent them before the entire goes through. So, we are gradually come to the whole kabudu of this event. And we would like to invite a few personalities to share their experience with us. I remember when we came here, I think last year or last 2 years, there was a gentleman who shared a story about his level of honesty. And he shared that in Chi, and he said, "Yabasi did no crack. Yeah, na system no MY MA ni no crack. Now ono electrician. Obia bakako yane the department bi and cross the office can be enka ho na onti emfama no. Ono so oyesa officer enye but wanya nso a adwuma no so wonya entitem bia no eha no waye kromfo but eha no. So sometimes it's easy for you to be honest in an environment like this, but try as much as possible to be honest, because as Honorable said, honesty pays, and honesty is success. Ya mo fa yenyo why? Njabo kega ni nyina mo fa nyina ayenyo fefefe. Am I? Okay. And now I would like to invite Mr. Aduchum Berima to give us the vote of thanks. Indeed, we have been live on several platforms. The Kansas City media, the entire Kansas City media is here. We have Oman FM, we have NET2, and we have Ash FM, and NAP Radio in Takrady, okay, Asin Fosu, and then all the social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, and now X. So if you want to play back, you can go to NET2 on YouTube or Oman FM on YouTube, and you have a playback of what happened here. So thank you so much. And I've seen my brother, Honorable George Sapon, also here. Put your hands together. The primaries, he had wanted to go to Parliament. Then he said, "Sir, we're honorable in them. We're honorable now, it's too late. By inshallah, 2028, he will become a member of Parliament." Now, no, hold it. I have my testimony. I have my honorable, I don't want to share that story, but we have a term called filet mignon. The filet mignon is a particular meat, and we visited him in his residence in New Jersey. And he said, "Oh, I'm from town." Then he went to a restaurant. I'm telling you, I want the menu, somebody menu, but I say, figures this is anymore. Now we got lawyers. Now on now runs anymore. Let's get all on Chibu to know for my end. Because that's can I bridge never yet there. You know, and we over here. I don't know. It be $300, $250. I want my wine be. Now why did they cry the chairman's doing? I was honorable. Pia Chianti Riga now out TD we are. And you hear president, I was honorable. Must get yo. And that was it was and now to order a good. The wine was good, the ambience was excellent, the food, and try some filet mignon. Say that me, filet? Unya use better how? Just via unya use better, you know we get filet mignon. Anytime that you travel outside the country, try filet mignon. That was my choice, and that has been a memorable experience. And I can tell you, that alone. Now, do we have a personal experience to share with us? That's the last moment of this whole enterprise. There was you hear me there. What was the maker? Okay, brah. Oh, okay. So, this testimony and experience. Your name again?
I'm Keynesia, Dr. Paul Keynesia, a lecturer at the Department of Environmental Management. Thank you so much, Honorable Ghana's Paul Kigami. In fact, I'm a pastor, I don't need to campaign, but I even stand on pulpit and preach that if you want somebody who will save Ghana, and God has revealed to me, I'm not just, those who know me, I'm not like a Kennedy. And I said a lot of things to Prof Marfo before the presidential primaries, and everything has, and whatever the election went is for because of what Honorable Ken, because now everything is in courts, and he is Ghana's what Paul Kigami, and he is the one to save Ghana, whether you like it or not. So let's pray. He is the hope for us. I'm telling you, all people we have in this nation now, the only one who can help the nation, the youth and everybody is Ken. So let's pray for strength and good health from the Lord for him. That is all that we need. And it's Ghana who Honorable King, who is to rescue Ghana. I'll just share my life story. I think my students know it, and I've been teaching sometimes more than 100 students, and I'm a pastor. I speak against my bed, but the only thing sometimes I want to challenge my students is I want to place my life there, and any student will also come. Anyone who beats me, I'll bet, and none of my students has been able to beat me because we go a challenge, and then I can do it. Nobody can share, but the grace of God, where I am now, because I didn't see my father because we were in a village. My father died when I was less than 2 years. I attended school. I attended school when I was 10 years, and a village school. Every Friday you have to go and what? Vocational skills, weaving baskets, and then other things. Please listen. I hope you, basket weaving and other things. And Honorable said so many things that and I always wanted to serve. So, village school, you have to go on what? Help your teachers in the farm. And even during vacation, I'll go and help the teachers. While we are in school, I'm also helping the teachers. So as a result of that, when I finished JHS, there was no hope for me. But because of that help that I was helping my teachers, then one of the teachers decided to take me to come and stay with him. He has laborers. I was working with them with the laborers. I got my school, village school, I was the third batch of the SHS. The first batch, the best grade was aggregate 17. The second batch, the best grade was 27. But by the grace of God, I got aggregate 6 with 7 ones from that village. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And then I have to, one of the teachers had to use his cocoa, CMB, cocoa scholarship. And when I got the scholarship, even to get a house at her and then to move to the boarding house, it had to take me about 2 months. And for the entire of my boarding house, I'm a pastor, and one of my first principles, never to lie, those I've told. I'd never take 1 cup of gari or sugar to school. Never in my life. I was just there in the school. I completed, and in the village, everything. That's why I challenged, because my corp is simping. Nsua, Kenten, everything village. That is what we depend on. By the grace of God, now I'm an entrepreneur. After school, to cut everything short, after university, God placed something in my heart that if you want to be rich, you have to work on your own. You have to be an entrepreneur. So you know what I did when I was doing my service? I was doing it at the Forestry Commission. I was helping timber contracts. They were tipping me small money. And then the talk came to me. I rented somebody's poultry structure, and I started poultry. So right after the service, I never worked for anybody. Then I employed one body, and I was doing the job, pushing truck in offense. So, and people were calling me University Bear Poultry, but I didn't mind. But I did the poultry and everything. By the grace of God, now I own over 30,000 bears. And and what I gain from poultry now I'm teaching. By teaching is just my hobby. It's not about the money. That's why I'm teaching as a lecturer. I didn't money because by the grace of God, I'm not saying I get almost 10 times what I get from what as a lecturer I get from the poultry. And God has blessed me so much, family and everything. And in all this, I also honest. You have to combine everything with honesty. So just as Honorable said, and the future president said, you have to be honest and you have to sacrifice in life. You need to sacrifice. Some of you have your capital in your rooms, your shoes, your outfit can be your capital now. You can save it, invest, and then in future. And I ask people, if you want to be successful in life, I ask my students, how do you see money? Do you see money as fruit or seed? Anyone who sees money as fruit will be poor. Always see money as seed. Whatever money that you get, sow it, and once you sow it, you give more fruit. You eat some, you plant, and you cultivate, and become a millionaire. Thank you so much.
I believe that one of these days, the Skill Force Ghana should organize a special symposium for you. You and you alone. You have a lot to share with us. So thank you so much. Now, how many of you have heard a series called Approacher Series? How many of you read Approacher Series? How many of you were able to pass your exams because of Approacher Series? The man who developed the Approacher series is here. Shall we welcome Honorable Alfred Obeng?
Honorable and other dignitaries. Yeah, students, I just want to pick two areas that our main speaker touched and share my personal testimony on that. The honesty thing that he said, perhaps some of you may just see that honesty, how does it work? I want to give you a typical example in my own life. And fortunately, my marketing manager is here. Mr. Agyapong was my marketing manager when he used to work at Approaches. There's no time to talk, but if you want to talk, you further put what Honorable said into more practical even than how he put it. Because my testimony that I will share will, give more practicality to it. You're a student. I started Approaches when I was a student. So the sacrifices, when we were doing national service, my colleagues were chasing girls, they were dressing, they were doing something. I was always at the library writing Approaches series. And when I wrote the book, I couldn't get money to publish it. Now he talked about seed capital or capital. How do you get the capital? You can get it from relatives, you can get it from friends, you can get it from several sources. But it's difficult to get. So when I got to the university, first year, he was my mate, just that we went through Saito and O system, Form 5, 6 form, and they went for the SS. So you were older than them, but you were in the same class. So when you go to the university, how do I get the manuscript typed? Then I use a lady at the science and computer science and mathematics department to do it. How could I pay her was a problem. So my student loan, I don't know whether you are still getting it. The student loan that when you get it, it's a peanut. At the time to it was a peanut. But that is my what? That was my capital. And I use my wisdom to convince my friends to loan, to give part of their students' loan to me as loan. And how could they have that confidence in me? Your own first year student, how could I give my loan to you? Then I brought my manuscript. Look, I've written Approaches series. This is the name of my book. And the content is so perfect that when this book gets to the market, every science student, every science teacher will recommend it. So please give me. And when the money comes, I will definitely pay you and continue to support you. So Raymond Kwashi, who after school, he died, unfortunately, and other friends, at that time, forgotten the money you were getting. But almost everybody, about 5 friends that I spoke to, they all divided their loan into 2 and gave 50% to me to add to mine to do the first publication. And I started with 50 copies. And when we did the manuscript and other things, the money I got from them, everything got finished. So I got to University Printing Press. And fortunately for me, when I was looking for them, somebody saw me, so one mistakenly, they thought he was my brother because we look alike. So they quickly went for him saying, your brother has come. So I was a bit confused. So he came and I started telling him my story, that I want them to print this book for me, but I don't have money. And that. He said, oh, one guy who is also from Asin area, forgotten his name, he was doing civil engineering, the same Unity Hall. He said he printed some for him. He has been doing for students. And the guy was so dishonest that he didn't pay the money. Anytime he was going to chase him. He saw him as soon as he see him from the window, then he ran away. So for that reason, he was not ready to say, oh, I'm a different person. I can't do that. Then I convinced him. Maybe by God's grace, he understood me. He said, okay, I'll do it for you. But what I'll do is that I'm going to print the 50 copies and give you 25. When you go and sell the 25 and bring it, then you come and take the next 25. Then you take it from there. So I said, oh, no problem. Because I knew I'm an honest person, I'll pay. So he did it and gave me the 25 books. So Friday, we were not attending lectures on Fridays. So Friday early morning, I got my 25 books. I didn't go to any school. The first school I went, that is why I hold this man with high esteem, was Asimfosu, his hometown there. And the man, the headmaster I met, he was his teacher. And the man received me nicely. He gave the books. He looked at me. I was smallish at that time, very tiny guy. So maybe because of my structure, he had some doubt with the content of the book. And I said, oh, but you have your science teachers there. Just give the book to them to go through. And no teacher would not recommend the book. So he gave it to him. We were sitting in his office. The science teacher took the book, came in about 1 hour and told him that the book is perfect, excellent. So if we get this book for our children, for the first time, some of our students will get A in the core science. That time it was core science before it became integrated science. He said, oh, so you have only 25. Then the teacher told him, we need 500 books. Wow. When I was going, my bag that I was holding, if you see it, so the bag, you see, I mean, at that time, things were not good for me. So, you see the dress and everything. That's why the man perhaps even had a doubt with the content of my book. So I said, okay, he said, pay the 25 of me, so I have another 25 there. I will quickly go and pay the printer and come and deliver it. Then later, I'll get the 450 top up. He said, oh, you go and bring it. So when I go, then I narrated the story to him. He understood it and said, okay, Beza, pay him this. Then he paid. Quickly, I went to Mr. Henry at the University Printing Press, and I paid the 25, the first 25 books, and even the one that I was going to collect, because the 25, when they paid, I could pay for the 50 and even get extra money. And I told him that the people need additional 450. So he should print 500 books for me, and the 500 too, I'll come and take half. When I go, I'll collect the money and do for him to see how sincere and honest I was. Then he said, oh, really? They bought all the book. I said, hey, then the book may be a very good one. I said, yes, I trust the content. Then the man agreed, took the 25, he went, collected the money, he printed the 450. So the 25 extra, the additional 25, even gave the money to him before collecting the 250. And he said, oh, what we have done, I can see you are a sincere person. So even collect all the 450 and send it to the man. So I sent it to the man. And when I got the money, I put the money in a bag, put it in my armpit. And when I was walking, you could see that, yes, I was so careful with my walkings because I had not seen such money before in my life. So, and I was so cautious. He knows all these stories. So, first year at the university, from that time, and the same man, they went for Charles conference. And then, fortunately, they wrote their SSC exams. And for the first time, that time, course science and they were very difficult course. Teachers could not, especially the test of practical aspect. And they got 3 A's. So the man told me he would be my agent in Central Region. So he went to convince all the schools in Central Region to patronize in Approaches series. So the book, within 1-2 years, became household name. Then he joined me in the company. At that time, he was not officially, but he became a friend. So he was also marketing it in the Ashanti region, others in other regions. So after school, before school, I had set up my company. He even did national service, not him alone, and another friend who also completed Legon with business administration. So all of us, we did our national service in my company. So these are practical. You see that the entrepreneurship, of course, as you're saying, you have a few ones that they have that inborn entrepreneurship skills and qualities. But in all to everything, the honesty aspect also counts. The company grew to a point that I was in America one time doing American bar examination, and we had got a contract. They needed to give us loan of $4.5 million. At that time, UT Bank has to do it. I was not in the country to sign as a CEO. So which bank will give you loan when even the CEO is not there to sign? And Moses was their branch manager. Then Mr. Amwaben, they told him that this is the request from Alfred. He said, approach. I said, yes. Ask for him. Do it for him. The guy is so honest that since he started collecting loan from us, even if he's about to default, he's the only person who say he will write a letter, explain why you should give him 1 month extra. Whereas others, when they even default, they won't even come and tell you. When you are going to them, they will be even running away. You won't see them. When I was about to default loan, I would rather write a letter to them, explain the circumstances leading to that. So because of my honesty, they trusted me so much to even get 4.5 million cedis loan when I was not there to even do or to sign the loan form. So this and many more, I'm sure one day you'll come and do more.
All right, we thank you, Honorable Alfred Obin, the founder and the CEO of Approaches series. If you pass it somewhere, you pass it well, you have to give the credit to the founder and the CEO. Now, I would like to invite the Teson UNER members here. They want to give Honorable a very special citation. So the members are here. Teson members from UNER. And my good friend Nelson Amwa is here. The rest of you? Okay? No? No, you all should come. Yes. And then... turn around. No. One again. Oh.
I want to say a big thank you to you and Teson. I know you are discouraged and despaired because you've been neglected for a while. I want to give you assurance that I told today Kintampo Health, Allied Health, and that Teson is a rebirth now. I'm assuring you that any programs that you do, if you inform me, I'll always come and grace the occasion. I'll come and grace the occasion for you. And what I'll say to you is, you don't have to give up. Let's strike hard when the iron is hot. And with perseverance, we will achieve wonders. Whatever has happened, has happened. Let's put it behind us and forge ahead. We can forge ahead only when we are united. So I want us to stay united and stay focused. If we are able to do this, we will achieve wonders. So this time, I'll be a patron to Teson to make sure whatever happened years ago will not be repeated. Because you are seen as disciples of MPP. You go out there and propagate the visions and aspirations of our party. But unfortunately, you were neglected. I want to assure you that this time, Agyapong, you have my full support. Thank you very much.
All right, we thank you very much. Teson, go back and go and work very hard. Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, we thank you so much as well. We are coming to the full closure of this event. Amo Date also here with us. Lawyer, thank you very much for the coordination. And I invite Adichum to give us the vote of thanks.
All right, so I think there's nothing to be said after everything has been said. So I'll go straight. So I first of all thank the Almighty God for granting us the time and space to have this program successfully. I thank the organizers, and I also thank our speakers, Mr. Kobe ESK, Prof Marfo, Honorable Ken Agyapong, all the media partners, the STU, Catholic University, UNED students, amiable lecturers, and also the Hunters clan, the former Honorable Minister and Ambassador, and everyone who graced this occasion today. As we are going out, let's always remember that one day we will be somebody. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much. In a prelude to a movie called The Lion's Skin, there's a statement from King Mufasa to Simba. And he said, everything you see exists together in a delicate balance. And you need to understand that balance and respect all the creatures, from the crawling ants to the leaping antelope, because we are all connected in that great circle of life. This evening, we have been connected by the grace and the wisdom of Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Another round of applause. I call my lovely ally to give us a closing prayer.
Please, can we be outstanding? Father Lord, we thank you this evening once again. We thank you for bringing us to the close of the program. We pray that whatever that we've listened, whatever that we've heard, Lord, let it be a good impact on our life, and at the end, glory and honor be given to you. We thank you, Lord, for your mercies. Amen.